That means the mantle depletion was there at that point of time. 4 billion years or 3.8 billion years ago, mantle was depleted. That means the base depletion, what you see, existed then, or maybe it represents some other depletion which you do not have any information about. That reservoir is probably lost. So similarly, what people do, they look at rocks where they can find such information. Most of them look at very deep mantle rocks, particularly alkaline rocks where they believe it might have preserved the earliest natures. Or some people look at continental lithosphere. They believe because we have a mantle convection, so continental lithosphere, if it is very old continent, may have remained isolated for a very long time. So it may have preserved the earliest cross formation events or information about that. So that's what they look at. So either continental lithospheric mantle or very ocean island basalts, very deep seated mantle rocks, derived from deep mantle. These two they look at. Or you look at archaean rocks, which are anyway very old. So there are many information. This is one finding I don't want to discuss more about. There is a complex in Odisha where 1.8 billion years old rocks gave them signature in this reservoir. That means the lost in this reservoir signatures were found. Yeah. So this is what they found. But later on, of course, studies suggested that it may not be so because the measurements are so tricky and you have to measure with respect to standards. So if you are not very good at reproducing the standard, you may end up with the wrong results. Okay, so where to look for? As I told you, you look at very old rocks where you take ideal information, the earliest you know may be preserved, or you look at this deep-seated sources from which the ocean island and continental lithospheric stuff is derived. So we tried this. So this is work of one of my students. We tried a lot of rocks, including carbonatites, thinking that carbonatites will be coming from either blooms or from some particular lithospheric mantle. So you should be able to see signatures of this. And of course, these are the different rocks we studied. Okay, so quickly, results. This is Korea rocks where these anomalous signatures were there. But unfortunately, when we did the measurements, don't worry about that, we did not find any anomaly in this. So we suspect that maybe, depending on the standard, one can always cross-check it. And over the years, several people have demonstrated that that anomaly may not be true anomaly. So let us not worry about that. Then we looked at plume-derived alkaline rocks. So Deccan flood basalts are plume-derived, it is believed, and it's kind of global also, and Union plume was responsible for its origin. So Deccan flood basalts have a lot of carbonatites and alkaline rocks associated with it. So we studied almost all of them, whatever was possible, in order to look for whether plumes carry this information of the earliest differentiation. And if it is there, this should have some preserved signature because Deccan basalts are fascinated so much you will not be able to see the traces of this earliest signature. So, and also we try to look at turbulent plume-derived alkaline rocks, which are present in Sylhet province, okay, Rajmahal and Sylhet. This is Sung Valley. These are 107 million carbonatites. And what we found, actually, if you look at what I am not explaining here, yeah. So anything anomalous should be outside this range. These are basically what you see, this yellow band and blue band. These are band of the standards. Okay. So if your values fall beyond this on this side axis or this side, then you know it's anomalous, either positive or negative. If you plot it, these are absolute ratios. If you make it mu, it will become 0 by definition. So if it is positive, it is a duplicate reservoir. If it is negative, it is a enriched reservoir. But all our data almost overlap with the standard value. So there is no signature here. Sometimes you try very hard and you don't get it. That doesn't mean science is not done. We have, you can see, each measurement takes almost like 2-3 days just for measurement. We measure one axis ratio has to be measured like 700 or 800 ratios to get a very good precision. And the chemistry is even more tiring. The kind of chemistry that there are a lot of overlap from isobaric interference are there. Anyway, we could do mass spectrometry to realize those things. Same way, Sun Valley also did not give anything. It is all values are within the limits of the standard, no positive or negative. Okay, and again, pneumonia and other stuff also. Some anomalies sometimes we see, but they are when you repeat the experiment, it's gone. But there is one promising thing we saw in Archean crater in Singu particularly. It's one of the oldest craters, probably the oldest in India. So the mantle rocks which are present in this crater, we will study them. 3.3 billion Archean gneiss. Okay, so that's the band for standards. And here the BGC is also there from Rajasthan, that is Singu BGCs are there. So do you see there is a small positive anomaly? Okay, so we are still trying to regenerate it. So two samples at least showed a positive anomaly. Do you think it's significant? Statistical? Probably not yet. However, even with one, if you are lucky, you are able to reproduce the same data. That means you have a signal. What it means, that means this old mantle had a signature of earliest depleted reservoir. That's significant. Okay. So it needs further confirmation because we are still trying to deplete it. It should be all for a poster. So I am trying to remeasure this again. But this is a significant finding. We have an abstract, but this kind of findings are very rare. Okay? Only few people work on it. It requires a lot of efforts. But the point is, if you want to study the earliest differentiation of the Earth's silicate mantle, you have to. This is the only technique available. Some area of neodymium isotope technique, and that's zero valence. So this is what we think. That means we have evidence of between the earliest depleted mantle around 3.8 billion years, 3.3. That is. So until 3.3, it was preserved. So that means we did have some kind of very early differentiation. Earlier, only in Greenland they have found this kind of signature. We are finding in much younger terms. So that's significant. Alright, so I'll conclude here and summarize whatever I have been speaking. So 146 samarium and 142 neodymium. Systematic remains the most sought after tracer or Haitian silicate Earth differentiation or base Earth differentiation. Neither the bloom or subcontinental lithosphere derived alkaline rocks from carbonate from India preserve these differentiation signatures. And however, we have some promise, more work is required. So I don't know whether I disappointed you or what, but we do have signatures. Singu is turning out to be a hotbed really. There are a lot of information there we still don't know. So these CTGs, these are the earliest found targets here, and they represent a mantle which could be one of these earliest depleted reservoirs of the Haitian differentiation. So thank you very much.
Now, you people realize whatever I said in my introduction, it is the versatile scientist. So you saw the first time, he started with carbonatite and finished with 142 neodymium. Means he is talking about space, meteorites, and other. Okay, so as expected, it was a fantastic talk, and really you people enjoyed this thing. And this is very new area of research. So you people can pursue such type of work in your PhD or research or something like that. Now, session is open for some questions and answers. Questions.
I know it would have been a bit difficult. It is not a popular topic anyway. But
For the basic crops, the technician, SMLT is now, is the SMLT is nowadays not that much in
sorry,
SMLT technique, the basic crops, say something is not that much in
that much.
It is not that much regarded now. SMLT technique is everything is now.
Well, I mean, depends on what you do. I mean, why not? This is one of the best methods of dating. Depends on what you are dating. That's the point. Yes, Samarian reduction method is usually least affected by metamorphism. But because of uranium rate has become method popularity, the other methods are gone down. But now it is coming back again. In fact, people can do mineral analysis using laser operation. So yes, I mean, depends on what you overall dating, of course, is old stuff. But if you want to date events as recorded in minerals, so yes, it is still, and meteorites it is still being used. Agandrites, that's the only method you can do. You don't find much income there. So Samarian medium methods, in fact, some of Gopalan's numbers are still popular. So they were done by Samarian medium method.
So tertiary types,
Tertiary
and
types.
ultra
Yes,
they must
yes.
what we actually
No, you have to see this way. Half-life is very last. Okay, so one has to decide what you are looking at. If you say, I want to get barren island rocks by this, then obviously it is not the right method. Because you will not have any product produced in 2 million years. So you have to use a method whose half-life would be meaningful. So older you go, you older stuff you this is long period isotopes you use. But only uranium rate for some reason has become very popular even for taking the young graphs because you can do in situ analysis. You can measure even a few ppg level of layer without any contamination. That's all. If you can do somewhere in by laser operation, it can work.
Hello, sir. Very informative presentation. I have one query. Are there any constraints in the analysis and calculation of 120? Do we have to use a different kind of spike or what we have been using for output 144? Yes, sir.
Yeah, the technique part I can discuss. Yes, only in India, only 2 labs could do it. In fact, part of this work was done in one of those labs in Pondicherry University. Pala and Rajnish did it, and we did it. So it requires this alpha Ivan method because the conventional neodymium separation will always have a cerium, lot of cerium coming in. So cerium 142 will see the 142. So there is a method separate column chemistry using alpha Ivan method. It is so that kind of removes all cerium and
Isobaric interference is not going to affect.
it will be. That's why I'm saying the isobars of cerium 142 means I'm talking about I'm measuring 142 nearly, correct? So you don't want any 142 mass from any other element isotope sitting on it. So the only one which affects is 142 of cerium. So that has to be eradicated from your sample. So that particular method, which was developed in 1980s, it's not old method. Only thing it depends on pH condition, a lot of conditions, temperature of the lab, etc. It's very tricky. You always need to calibrate and see how much cerium you have. Yes, there is a method to get rid of cerium. And once you remove it, you are good. That's good to go. So,
The tracer that we use, for example, 145 and we use a tracer.
okay. So what we are talking about, if you want to do isotope dilution for concentration measurement. In fact, here I am not using any concentration. I cannot use anything else. Otherwise, these anomalies, suppose you use a tracer, it may have some one particular. You cannot get a tracer which is only one isotope. It may be 98% or 99%. There is still some amount of other isotope. That itself will doing my measurement. So we are not here with measuring isotope ratios only. So I don't use any tracer. Yes, for dating samarium long lived ones, if you want to measure the concentrations, you have to use a samarium as well as neodymium tracer, or neodymium we use 150. So that's a different method. But here only isotope ratio, no isotope ratio.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, thank you for the presentation. I've heard much about it, but it's the first time I got the opportunity to listen. So, thank you. And my question is, using 142 Newton measurement, you said that when it will be the NMS value, so we get that there is that will be the topic of also during the dating technique, how will we differentiate between the radiogenic and the common neodymium system?
Yes. So common system, we are talking about natural logarithm of 42 layers.
142 natural and
Yes. That's why we use standards. Okay. So what do we do? In the standards, there are no anomalous values. That's what the belief is. So you measure a standard where there is no anomaly. So keep measuring hundreds of times, so you know the value in your lab what you get. Then you take a sample and measure the same ratio in that 142 by 144. If there is no anomaly everywhere, because these are stable isotopes, right? So stable isotope ratio should be constant, and these are really stable isotopes. They don't fractionate. So 142 by 144. If there is no anomalous value in coming to here, they should be identical everywhere in the Earth. Okay? In every sample. If there is an anomaly, you should be able to see other than the standard either this way or that way, either lower or higher. Epsilon or mu value, you know, or higher than the standard value, you know there is a positive anomaly there. Lower, you know the negative anomaly. So it is simple, there is nothing in here. Because these are stabilized curves, their ratio should be constant. The only way it can change if there was a parent contributing to one of these isotopes. So a 142 is contributed by 147 samarium only in the first 500 million years. After that, of course, it's gone. So if your sample has somehow got this signal, you should be able to see it. But it gets diluted, so you have to be very lucky. So you keep doing it. It sounds very mundane, but it involves, because that's what the discovery if you make, there you go, you get the nature science paper, just like that. Yes, sir.
My question is very simple because right now I'm working Kelsey Pro, because of that only I used to do the Iran and the Jason geochronology. But this is first time I heard that usually we use this type of geochronology is for chemistry. So what type of minerals we have to choose for this? I used to do this type of geochronology.
See, no, what I presented is an extreme radionuclide and its product. What you are asking is the long-lived samarium medium, 147 samarium, decays to 143 neodymium, with half-life of 106 billion years. So that systematic was very popular at some point. But what happens depends on every rock cannot be measured. It depends on how old you are saying tertiary rocks.
I'm not talking about the tertiary.
Okay. So granite is
what type of minerals we have?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, any mineral that has rare earths, enough rare earths for the measurement. If it is too low, maybe it will be difficult to extract enough material for measurement. But I think it works with most of the minerals.
It means that first of all we have to check the contents of your earth mass.
See, I'll tell you, zircon has multiple advantages.
Yeah.
Because it can preserve multiple histories. These systems only give you the age of last resetting or last closure, right? Usually samarium medium doesn't get affected that much by metamorphism, but if it is high-grade metamorphism, of course they will be mobilized. Once they are mobilized, the date you are getting will be metamorphism at the last closure age of that system. So it depends on what you are looking at. Whereas zircon one grain itself will give you everything. So that's why it is so popular. Here Yes, I mean, it depends on, suppose for me, I don't have uranium late system. We do late getting, but that's for carbon. So we rely on summarium making. So
If you be black or even the mineral present in the rock, we can use for.
yes, most minerals can be utilized. If you look at the paper, people use all kinds of minerals.
Thank you, sir.
Jan wanted to ask something.
You was the first person actually who wanted to ask a question. He could not get the time.
Two questions. One for now, one for the evening.
So one question you can ask right now. After that you can.
So your data analysis system only is although they fall in the overlapping zone.
Ah,
The one who has the system which was
good question.
and recently people have shown that there is a mass dependent fractions and also for higher masses. So can you that
Well, you are making my right. Okay, I'll tell you, those things I did not discuss. In these, the standard selection of standard is paramount. The problem is that the standards we have used AIM standard. Later on, we started using JNDI and also USGS standards. It was realized after so many measurements, in fact, that anomaly what the Devasys got Korea, because of the use of a particular standard, that standard for some reason gives a lower value. So if you see, I have put two line brackets. One is for M standard, the other one is for JNDI. We are using both. We are saying if anything falls beyond both of them, they will call it anomalous. So this what happens. M standard always gives a lower ratio of 140 by 44 compared to any other standard. So does it contain any anomaly? I don't think so. It's question of for some reason it is a kind of man-made standards, right? It's a solution. I don't know how to make it. For some reason, it has lower 140 than the other standards. So if you have chosen one standard, you will get a positive anomalies all the time. So that's very tricky. That's what we got. So now that's why we are presenting both the standards. We are measuring multiple standards. We are giving the entire package for everything. And we are
Absolutely like that. Standard dependent. Then the line is low.
Well,
Standard dependent.
naturally, why standard? How do you know these are stabilized, right? There is a canonical value. That means nucleosynthesis time 142 by 144 should have been less. Anything extra to it has to come from 146 samarium decay. How do you establish this ratio, standard ratio? So you have to have a rock where there is no samarium, right? So these standards are extracted in such a way that the minerals have never had any samarium. So then you measure nearly 142 by 44, and they said, okay, 20 lakhs they measure, they said, okay, this value you quote. So AIMS is a company which made this standard. They said this is the ratio. It was utilized by people for 40 years. Now then JNDI gave the Japanese standard. Then they said this is the best standard. When you started measuring that, it was found it is higher than this. Now what do you do? So many papers which showed anomaly, now they are retracted. So yes, what was the second question? Oh, that is well, that's a very different thing. If mass dependent is involved at that kind of high masses, then we cannot. You have to find out whether there is there. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. You have to do molecular to then to see. You have to measure all isotope ratios of your income. Yeah, there is a possibility. Yes.
Question already said how interesting this talk was actually, and in between, Yana is here. He is our keynote speaker. So let's welcome Yana.